Hi guys, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. So if you want to learn how to make this beautiful A-line gown with bell sleeves, please keep on watching. The first thing I'm going to do is to go ahead and take my neck round measurement, which is 3 inches, and then for the back I'm going to come down by 1 inch. Please note I'm cutting the front and the back at the same time. And when you are folding to cut, please take note of the wideness of your A, okay? Of the A line at the down part. Take note of it when you are folding. Now for the front, I'm going to come down by 3 inches for the front neckline depth. I'm coming down by 3 inches and I'm going to connect that back to the wideness of the neckline, okay? Now the next thing I will do is to take my client's shoulder. My client's shoulder is 16 divided by 2, 8. So I'm going to just go ahead and mark 8. Now for my shoulder slope, I don't take my front and back shoulder slope at the same point. For the back, I'm going to come down by 1 inch. While for the front, I will come down by 1.5, okay? Now for the back, I came down by 1 inch and I'm going to connect that back to the neck width. Now I've been using this measurement for a while and the fitting is very perfect, trust me. So this shoulder slope is for the back. Next, I'm going to come down by 1.5 for the front shoulder slope and connect that back to the neck width. So you can see I'm just coming down by 1.5 for the front shoulder slope, and I will go ahead and connect that back to my neck. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to take from my shoulder to my chest point. Now to get your chest line, you want to divide your bust round by 6 and add 2.5, okay? For your chest line, you divide your bust round by 6 and add 2.5, okay? And for my clients, what I got was 9.6, but I decided to use 10 inches because this is a free gown, okay? So the armhole area should be free a bit. So I got 9.6 after the calculation, and then I went ahead to use 10 inches. So I just used extra 0.4 inches, all right? So right there on my chest line, I am going ahead to mark my shoulder width again. This way I can connect my armhole line on a straight line. Now next, I'm going to draw out my armhole curve, and to do that, I'm going to come up by 3 inches from the chest line. Now this armhole curve is for the front, okay? After coming up by 3 inches from the chest line, you will go in by 0.75. So you can see, I just went in by 0.75, and then you want to connect from the shoulder slope to that point where you went in by 0.75, and you will do this with a straight line, okay? Now, next thing I'm going to do is on my chest line, I'm going to mark my bust round divided by 4. All right, so you want to go ahead and mark your bust round divided by 4 right there on the chest line. And then I'm just going to connect with a curve to that point. Now this forms my armhole curve, and remember this is for the front. Now for the back, I will just go ahead and rule a curve behind the front, okay? So the back armhole curve is not as deep as the front. So you just see, I went ahead to just rule another curve behind the front armhole curve, okay? Hope you understand. So right there on the chest line, I'm going to mark her bust round, and then I'm going to add extra 1 inch for seam allowance, okay? So you want to go ahead and mark your bust round and then add 1 inch for your seam allowance. Next, I'm going to take from the shoulder to the under bust, which is 14. And then right there, I'm going to take the under bust round measurement and as well add 1 inch for seam allowance. Now, this A-line gown is going to have some form of fitting from the chest line area to the under bust area, and then from the under bust area is going to flay down to the hem, okay, giving you that that A shape, okay? So yeah, you want to go ahead and take your bust round measurement and your under bust round measurement, then add enough allowance, because even though it's going to have a shape, it will still be free at that area because it's a free gown, okay? So now I'm gonna head to shape my chest line or bust line and my under bust line, and I'm gonna head to just shape that out. Now I'm going to connect from my under bust to the hem of this gown with a straight line going downwards to the edge. All right, so remember I said when you are folding your fabric, you want to make sure that the wideness is enough for how much A you want to have. Do you understand? So I'm going to just rule a straight line from the under bust down to the edge of my fabric. And that's basically all for the pattern drafting. Next, I'm going to go ahead and just cut this out. And even when I'm cutting this out, I still went ahead to add small allowance, because this is a free gown. You want it to be like really, really free and nice on your client. So yeah, I went ahead to add extra allowance, and I'm cutting out the back first. You can see I'm done with cutting out the back. Now for the front, I will go ahead and reshape the armhole, reshape the shoulder slope, and also reshape the neckline, okay? So guys, when I go ahead and open this up, you can see how wide my A-line is looking, okay? And you can see that little shaping we did at the bust and the under bust area. Now guys, remember that this gown has a front slit neckline, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and cut out my facing for the front, join my facing to the neckline, and before I go ahead to slit that front area, okay? So I'm going to be showing you just how I'm going to do this. Now for my facing, I just went ahead to mark like how deep I want that front slit to be, like that middle slit at the neckline. I want it to be 4 inches deep. So now you want to make sure that your facing is going to go past that point, all right? So that you have enough to iron down when you are done. Now for the sleeve, I'll just go ahead and fold my sleeve into 4. That way I can cut both the right and the left sleeve at the same time, okay? So remember, we are going ahead now to cut a bell or a trumpet sleeve. Now you want to make sure that after folding, you have enough wideness for your A-line, okay? Remember, for the down part, you want to make sure that it is wide enough for how wide you want the, A to be down there, okay? So I'm just doing a freehand cutting or a freehand sketching. I have a very detailed tutorial on my channel on how to go about drafting out a basic sleeve pattern, okay? So I'm just doing a freehand sketching of the armhole, and then when I'm done, I'm now going to just connect with a straight line down to the edge of my fabric, okay, or of my folding. So when you are folding for an A-line of anything, be it a sleeve or a gown, the most important part is the down part. The down part is going to be wider than other parts of the dress or the sleeve. So you want to make sure that you have enough wideness at the down part or at the hem part, all right? Now I'm going ahead to mark out the length of my sleeve, which is 26. It's going to be really long. So I'm marking out 26, and when I'm done, I will just go ahead and cut this out. Then make sure that you notch the middle part of your sleeve so that it would help you when you are finally fixing this sleeve to your dress, okay? And when I open this up, you would see how it is looking. So you can see that the down part is really, really wide, okay? Now I'll go ahead and notch the middle part. First of all, pin your facing to your dress, also the neckline of your dress, and then the next thing you want to do is to get the middle point of your neckline and notch. This will help you get, the perfect middle point from which you will cut down to have that front neckline slit, okay? Please just follow me. Now make sure to go ahead and notch that middle area, okay? And then from there, I'm going to be coming down by 4 inches. So you can see I'm marking 4 inches down. And then when I'm done, I'm going to go ahead and just rule a straight line from that middle point where I notched down to that 4 inches, okay, that I came down by, so you can see. Next, when I'm stitching this, I'm going to stitch around that line. Please make sure to go around this line so that when you are nudging, you have enough space to nudge, okay? Now I will also go ahead and turn my back neckline with its facing. I've gone ahead to stitch the facing for the front, and guys, I made a mistake. So you're supposed to stitch that slit area, stitch it round the slit. Don't try to stitch it like in form of a V and make it meet at a point. So you can see mine is meeting at a point. It is like in form of a V. And when I was done and I went ahead to turn this, it wasn't relaxing at all. So you would see. Now, I want you guys to see this mistake so that you wouldn't go ahead and do it or make the same mistake when you are, stitching yours. So I'll go ahead and turn this out, and you would see that it was not relaxing at all at that slit middle area. So you can see how I was just struggling to keep everything in place. So what I did was to go back and stitch it around that middle area. So you can see it just went around the middle area, and then I just went ahead to nudge, the middle. And that way you have enough space to nudge very well. And then when I went ahead to turn this out, it just relaxed very well. Even without ironing, it was relaxing very well. So yeah, you want to make sure to stitch around that slit area and then go ahead and nudge. That way it comes out really nice, really flat, and really neat. Yeah, so you can see how it is looking. Even before ironing, it's already looking nice. So you can see. Now the next thing I will do is to iron this out very well, and then I've gone ahead to join the front and the back by the shoulder. The next thing I will do is to go ahead and arrange these very well, pin it together, and go ahead and join by the sides. I'm just going to be using 1 inch to join by the sides, okay? Now the chest and the under bust area is not going to be fitted, but it's just going to have that shape there to show that this is an A-line dress, but it's not going to be fitted, okay? So I will use 1 inch allowance to just join from the chest line down to the hem of my gown. And guys, when I'm done with joining this, I'll just go ahead and fix my sleeve. All right, so yeah, that's basically it on how to make this gown, and you can see that it is very, very simple. If you're a beginner, you want to go ahead and try this out. So guys, this was the final result when I was done with making this gown, and you can see how beautiful it was looking. You can see the sleeve and you can see the neckline and everything. Thank you guys for watching. See you on the next one.